You got a wonderful drill for developing a feel for distance. Walk me through that.
Very simple. We have a flag stick laid out. Typically we use a fringe, but it's more about getting a distance of 20, 30 feet, 40 feet, and just trying to roll the golf ball up as close as you can to the flag stick, to the fringe, without hitting it. And that gives you a good feel in your hands and in your visual distance of the speed of the greens. It's pretty quite simple, nothing genius to it, but hitting 6 or 8 putts like this and trying to roll it right up, and even if you can get it to roll up and just barely kiss the flag stick, the fringe, you're going to develop tremendous feel for the speed of the greens you're playing that day.
Now then, 2 tees on each direction there. What's the goal here? What's this drill about?
Well, this is simply, I always viewed it as a way to get comfortable making the short putts. And this drill is about putting a little bit of pressure on yourself, a little bit of heat, because the way we always kind of did this drill through school and stuff was you could have 1 or 2 balls, always like 2, and you start at the first tee, make that, go back to the second tee, make that, then move over to the next place. Have to repeat the same, short, long, all the way. And go around once, well good, you're a third of the way done. So you're trying to complete it 3 times, not quite as simple as it looks. You know, so this is just about being comfortable and making these little putts. It's amazing how much pressure you start to feel if you're 2.5 ways around and you get over to here, and we were talking about more often than not, it seems like it's the short one you miss because you know what? You stop paying attention.
And that's one of the most difficult things to do is put pressure on yourself when you're out practicing, right?
Well, there's no consequence to dumping a bag of balls in the bunker and hitting bunker shots. There's no consequence to having a bunch of balls here and putting and missing. You know, this is a way to somewhat simulate the pressures you're going to see on a golf course.
Okay, David, before we let you go, one other thing I was wanting you to go through for us. We talk about it all the time, how important a pre-shot routine is. Let's put you in this situation right here. You got this 3.5 footer.
Yep.
You got to make it. Let's say it's your last putt in this drill. Walk me through your pre-shot routine.
My pre-shot routine putting has pretty much always been the same for years and years and years. I've always, after I've read the putt, figured out what I want to do, I've always got up to it, been off to the side of the ball, looking at the hole because I feel like that gives me the freedom in my stroke because I'm not looking down. And I would always just take a couple of practice strokes, move in, have a look, maybe have a second one, and fire away. People ask me about the putt when I shot 59. I said, the one thing I did because Bob Tway and Jeff Maggart were finishing out, I didn't go and look at my putt. I didn't read it. We stayed off to the side when it was my turn. We got ready, took our reads, went through the routines, and fired away. That's the best way you can control your outcomes, just stick to your routines.
One element of your routine I specifically want to ask you about, when you take your practice strokes, you're not looking down at the ball. No. How important is that?
Well, I just feel like, again, that when you're standing here, the problem you have in golf is you're never visually target-oriented. You're typically looking down at the object you're trying to move towards the target, which is the golf ball. You have seen players, and heck, I've done it at times, where I'll get on these shorter putts and I'll get over it and I'll just hit them looking at the hole, you know? It's amazing how much success you can have because you start focusing on your target and not your method. I think we've seen Jordan Spieth do that a fair amount in tournament play. But it's very helpful, especially if you're over off to the side. Look at it because it really frees up and it gives you a natural reaction to the length and the acceleration of the stroke that you want. It's pretty simple.